Competition among airlines is a global thing. We have seen it among Middle East airlines, North American airlines, and some European airlines. African airlines also compete among themselves, and among those competitors is South African Airways. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Aviation. In today's episode, I would like to discuss the story of South African Airways, an airline that could have been the giants of Africa but never achieved that dream. If this is your first time here, welcome and kindly support the channel by subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing this video. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for your continued support. South African Airways began life as Union Airways in 1926. In 1934, South African Airways acquired all assets and liabilities of Union Airways and subsequently changed its name to South African Airways. Throughout the 1930s, the airline acquired new aircraft, some with single engines and others with multiple engines. In 1945, the airline joined the International Air Transport Association and began international flights to Nairobi, Khartoum, Cairo, Castel Benito, and Bournemouth. From its first flight in February 1934, SAA grew and innovated over the decades, becoming a global airline with a fleet of modern aircraft such as the Boeing 747 and Airbus A340. It also joined the Star Alliance in 2006, making it the first African carrier to sign with one of the three major airline alliances. However, South African Airways also faced many challenges and difficulties, especially during the apartheid era, when it was boycotted and banned by many African countries and international organizations. The airline had to bypass the continent with long-range aircraft and operate under the name SAL, its Afrikaans name, to avoid detection. After the end of the apartheid in 1994, South African Airways tried to rebrand itself and regain its reputation and market share. It changed its name, image, and livery, and introduced online ticketing services. It also expanded its network and destinations, and established links with other airlines such as Mango, Airlink, and South African Express. However, South African Airways also faced increasing competition from other airlines, both domestic and international, as well as rising costs, corruption, mismanagement, and political interference. The airline suffered from chronic financial losses and relied on government bailouts and guarantees to stay afloat. In December 2019, South African Airways entered voluntary business rescue, a process that allows a financially distressed company to restructure its operations and debts under the supervision of a business rescue practitioner. The airline suspended all operations in September 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the lack of funding. In 2021 June, the government announced that it had entered into a partnership with the Takatso Consortium, a group of private investors who would hold a 51% controlling stake in South African Airways, while the government would retain 49%. The deal was meant to revive the airline and to make it profitable and sustainable without further burdening the taxpayers. In August 2021, the South African Civil Aviation Authority confirmed that South African Airways operator certificate had been reissued with an approved fleet of 8 aircraft. The airline restarted operations on 23rd September 2021 with flights to Cape Town, Accra, Kinshasa, Harare, Lusaka, and Maputo. Despite not having flown a single scheduled flight in 18 months, South African Airways was recognized as the second best airline in Africa by Skytrax in 2021, a testament to its resilience and potential. The future of South African Airways is still uncertain, as the investment agreement with the proposed private partner has not been concluded, and the airline faces many legal and operational challenges. However, South African Airways remains hopeful and optimistic and aims to restore its glory and pride as a national carrier of South Africa.